Great day, and first of all, I want to say Happy Thanksgiving to everyone here. We got some of the wives here today. Looks like, happy Thanksgiving to all of you and your families. Hope everybody have an opportunity to take some time. And we got, really Thanksgiving should be a lifestyle. We got so much to be thankful for. If you can wake up and you got breath in your body and man, good health, man, you got everything that you really need. So thankful for that. But this is an exciting week. It's the season for us, as y'all know, and then South Carolina. This is a goal of its own for us. It's important to obviously everybody in this state. It's a lot of fun to be able to participate in rivalry games. It's something that's kind of just been woven into my life my entire 49 years. It's been that way for me. So it's always a special week, all over the country. You think about all the great games going on, Clemson, South Carolina, Alabama, Auburn. You had Michigan, Ohio State, Mississippi, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Georgia, Virginia Tech. I mean, it just goes on and on. So a lot of good stuff going on in the country this week, and it's an exciting time for everybody. And again, we got Thanksgiving to be a part of it. Other Carolina, they're 6-4, but man, they had two really close losses that could have gone the other way, and they're sitting here 8-2. And I think that they're that's kind of who they are. I think that they're a team that's capable of playing with everybody that they play with. They've had some injuries and things like that along the way, but this is a team that you can definitely see has grown in their confidence and has improved. And again, I know they had a couple of tough, really close losses, but it's a good football team, and Will's done a great job in building this program and getting them in a situation where they can compete. Really with everybody that they've played. And again, have had a couple of tough losses go against them, but they've also had some really good wins. They've battled hard. They're playing with a lot of good chemistry, and you can see that on tape. Defensively, man, they're really good up front. They got a bunch of guys. They've had some guys injured, so there's still a few question marks on kind of who all is going to actually line up for them on defense. But, looking at the totality of their season and the guys that we competed against last year, these are really good football players, man. Number 8, he's as good as there is out there, especially when he's been healthy. 6 is a good player. All these guys up front have played a lot of football. They'll probably get 22 back. I think he's a really good player. 16 is an outstanding player for them at corner, very active. 6 has played a ton of football for them in the middle. So good team, and then offensively, I think that this is one of the better groups that we've seen. Bentley he's got a great arm. He's accurate. He's playing with a lot more confidence as he should. He's an experienced football player. He has a good grasp of what they're doing. I think they're good up front. I think Zach Bailey is a great player. And, I think that they have run the ball with much more consistency than maybe they did last year. I think they've been a little more committed to that. And they've set up some nice play action plays off of it, some RPOs. They do a good job with their screen game and boots and taking some shots down the field. They got some really good receivers. 89 he's a big-bodied player that is a veteran player. He's made some huge plays for them. He's a matchup problem, from just a sheer size standpoint. And then you throw in 13 and 1. Those are 2 of the best we've seen. Really, really good players. 1 is as good a player as we've seen all year. He's a game changer. I mean, he's a guy that you better bring everything you got and wrap up because he's so good with the ball in his hands, and he's so good at breaking tackles and yards after the contact. And then I don't think he gets enough credit for finishing plays on balls in the air. I mean, he's not like Brian, a tall wideout, but he plays big. He plays big. He does a great job finishing balls. And same thing with 13. He's not a tall guy either, but he plays long. Good ball skills. He's a matchup problem in the slot. They've played 4 backs, really all year. And I think all those guys have done a nice job. AJ is a veteran guy for him, been around. Dowdle, I'm assuming, will be back for him. I think he's a heck of a player. 34 is a sledgehammer for him. But everything's going to go through this quarterback and this offensive line. And, again, I think that they've done a nice job, from a scheme standpoint in how they have created angles in the run game. They've done a good job with their empty package and formation into the boundary and trying to create some, like I said, opportunistic opportunities to run the football. And so good matchup. This will be a heck of a matchup Saturday night. We're excited about it. Special teams is something that could be a huge factor in this game, especially with their returners. But again, this is what it's all about. This is a one-game season for us, and I know it's important to both sides. And for us, our focus is on just trying to finish and play our very best 4 quarters of the season. So with that, I'll take your questions.
Coach, other than having Debo healthy this year, do you think the biggest difference for them offensively is their tempo, and how much do you think playing Wake Forest and Syracuse will help in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of tempo teams. I mean, we're a tempo team. But I think Brian, their offensive coordinator, has done a great job for them. I mean, he really has. He's a heck of a coach, and you can see his influence is in their style of play and the confidence that they're playing with, and just, again, some of their formationing and some of the things that they're doing in the run game. But, definitely the addition of 1 and 13. 13 didn't play last year either, I don't believe. And you got those 2 guys, you get better in a hurry. They're 2 really good football players that they didn't have. And they're just more confident. And, again, I think the consistency and the continuity throughout the whole season has really helped them. And then Bentley's he's a really good football player.
You mentioned Brian Edwards. Just what about him makes him such a good player, and what did y'all see in him? I know y'all recruited him.
Yeah, we did. Well, he's big and he's got a great body for the position. He's long. He's got great jumping ability, good body control. He changes direction. Runs with the ball well after the catch, and he's a very competitive kid. And that's why we liked him a lot in high school. I mean, he played both sides of the ball. He played everything. He played DN, tight end, receiver, linebacker, safety. He was an athlete that played all over the field. He might have even played a little quarterback. I can't remember, but he's a really good football player and a good kid.
Between Thanksgiving and the emotions of rivalry, how do you, on a practical level, keep the players and the coaches, everybody just locked in on the game?
Well, we have a plan, a preparation plan in place that we believe in, and that really doesn't change much. The biggest change in this week is obviously this is a game that's a little more personal because you kind of live with it, in your community every single day, everywhere you go. So there's always you got a little juice like that you may not have if you're playing Duke. But for us, every game is the biggest game of the year. So we create that mindset every week, all year. Our preparation doesn't change, whether we're playing Furman to open the season or South Carolina to end the season. Our preparation doesn't change. And I think that's the biggest thing is it creates continuity and belief in what you do. We don't, all right, we got to practice longer this week, or we don't. That's to me, that sends the wrong message. You put your best in every week. The best you got every single week is for us a championship game. That's what we try to create in our mindset. So the preparation there's zero difference, with the exception of we do have Thanksgiving, so they're out of school, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, so that's different, and so you have to manage that. And so we've got a Thanksgiving plan that we've always kind of had in place that we believe in. It allows us to, as coaches and as a team, to get our preparation in the way we need to, but also be able to take the time and give them, our players, the time to celebrate Thanksgiving. So we do that. It's just kind of a part of our week. That's the only difference in the week. But as far as the emotion of the week and all that, emotion don't win. Execution wins. Most fired up team ain't gonna win the game. It's the team that takes care of the ball and does a good job on third down and makes a difference in special teams and wins in the red zone and can run the ball, can stop the run, can block and tackle. That's who wins.
You've been a part of two great rivalries now, and you mentioned so many across the country. Are they all, do you consider them all kind of pretty much the same as far as intensity and all that goes into it, or is there maybe a little bit of a unique one to each? Does this kind of compare and contrast to the Alabama-Auburn one?
Well, it's hard for me to, it's hard for me to speak on a bunch of these others because I haven't been a part of them. But I find it hard to believe that there's any rivalries any better than the two that I've been a part of. And for me, as I've said many times, I had 13. I was a part of, as a player and a coach, 13 Alabama-Auburn games. So I've been there, done that, and then obviously grew up in the state as a fan and have experienced that side of it. And then this is my 16th Clemson, South Carolina game. So I've done it a lot. And the similarities between those two rivalries, there ain't no difference to me. It's –